Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing, man? Antonelli here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing? Man, Antonelli here. So today we're continuing answering questions on Instagram. So I put an Instagram post up a couple weeks ago asking for questions that you would like to get answered on YouTube, and so here we go. So I've just picked out a bunch of questions. We ended up getting a lot, so I'm going to try to answer all of them. I couldn't get to every single one, but I'm going to get to as many as possible, and then we'll do this again and let more people ask questions. So if you're not following us on Instagram, make sure you go over to follow us at Antonelli Baseball, and let's go. Okay, so Cameron Nauman. I'm gonna butcher a lot of these names. Sorry, guys, I'm horrible pronouncing names. What was the best glove you ever put your hand in? I think the best glove I ever did was was a Rawlings. I don't remember the model number. It was Matt Bush's glove. I've told this story on YouTube. So my 2007, my first professional season, I used a new Nike glove that I really didn't like. I couldn't break it in, and I was getting really nervous because the season was about to start, and I needed a glove. And so Matt Bush, who's now a pitcher, but he was on my team, and I was asking guys if they had any extra gloves, and Matt Bush was like, "Here, I got this really nice Rawlings glove that you'd probably like," and he gave it to me. And I put my hand in, and I was like, it felt like warm butter, like melted to my hand, and I was like, this glove is amazing. I went out and practiced with it that day, and like every ball I felt like went into it and stayed into it, which was nice because, again, I was using a glove that was like hard as a rock. The ball kept bouncing out. And I was like, dude, this glove is amazing. I'm like, do you mind if can I borrow it for a little bit? And he's like, borrow it? He's like, just take it. And I'm like, just take it? What? He's like, just have it, dude. Just have it. I was like, okay. So the glove was amazing. And actually, I used that all the way up into the major leagues. And then if you guys watch my channel, you know that glove got stolen from me. When I hit my first major league home run, I put it in the dugout to go do an interview. And when I came back, it was gone. And the clubbies said they don't know where they said they put it in my locker, but they didn't because it wasn't there. And I never got it back again. It's a sad day. Mason Herman, 22. As a smaller player, how do I hit for more power? Okay, so Mason, if you don't watch our YouTube regularly, you need to go over to our hitting playlist because we talk a lot about mechanics. Listen, if you're a smaller player and you don't have the physical strength or the explosiveness, then obviously you can't rely on that as much. You have to rely on your body, how your body moves. You need to have a mechanical advantage because you don't have an advantage from a strength perspective. And so, how does your body move? We talk a lot about being in the proper sequence. We talk about how to get in that sequence, how to load your body properly so it'll work in the right sequence. Now, we make like tons of videos on that, so I can't give you all the answers right now. But just go into the hitting playlist and start watching our hitting videos because most of the questions I get are about bat speed. How do I get more bat speed? So we talk about bat speed, we talk about bat path, we talk about quickness, we talk about timing, we talk about all that stuff in there. So go check all that out. But it will definitely help you. Ethan K. 03. My sophomore season just officially got canceled. Any tips on how to stay prepared? So everyone's kind of, not everyone, but most people in the United States are kind of in the same boat where their season has been canceled, their high school season got canceled. So I just saw that, some players are finally getting outside and playing. But like in Massachusetts, we're still not. And so we're slowly going to probably be soon. But the biggest thing is just to do what you can. Like everyone's different. Some people can, they have all the time in the world and they've got a park down the street or they've got a big backyard. And then other people don't have anything. Other people don't have a backyard. They don't have, training tools at their house. And so it's hard to give advice to people because everyone's in such different, everyone has different opportunities and resources. But the biggest thing is to do what you can. Everyone can do something, right? Like even if all I had was this one room right here, I could find, I should be able to find a ball someplace, tennis ball, racket ball, something, bounce it off the wall, catch it. I can go through a dry swing. Even if I don't have a bat, I can go through a dry swing and think about my mechanics. I can find a mirror somewhere in this house or look at my reflection in this television and watch my swing and everyone, you clearly have Instagram, so you can go on Instagram, you go on YouTube. There's so many resources for swing mechanics, throwing mechanics, fielding mechanics. And so there's something to do. And that's the biggest thing, is just do something. Whether it's gaining knowledge by watching, different resources, or just going through some of the stuff. Maybe it's as simple as some strength training stuff, like literally push-ups, sit-ups. Like, again, anything is better than nothing. But I do know there's some players that are just like, well, I can't get to a field, so I'm just going to wait till I can get back on a field. No, that's not a good idea, because if you do nothing, then you're going to really fall behind. So, and I've put up a couple of videos on our YouTube channel on different drills and things that you can do. Again, it depends on the resources you have, but go check it out. You might find something that you like. The real Fernando Mendez, your favorite ballpark to visit as a kid? So the only ballpark I really visited a lot as a kid was Fenway Park, because I grew up, I still live here. I moved to a different town, but I'm really close. I grew up about 25 minutes from Fenway Park. And so that was the stadium that I would go watch games at. And it's a pretty good stadium to do so. I know it can be uncomfortable. Not so much for a small kid, though, because the seats are really little, but good thing when you're 80 pounds as a little kid, they fit perfectly in them. So yeah, that was my favorite park to visit as a kid. The atmosphere there, typically having pretty good teams, although for a lot of my childhood I saw a lot of losses, heartbreaking losses. But yeah, that would definitely be my favorite park to visit. Phil Tribble, can you explain what you mean by getting the barrel behind the ball? Is that just another way of saying get the barrel on playing deep and early? So yeah, so when I talk about getting the barrel behind the ball, so if the ball's coming slightly down, right? The pitch angle is slightly down because the pitcher is standing on an elevated mound. They're throwing overhand. The catcher squats. The ball's coming slightly down. So I say get behind the ball, because here comes the ball. I want to get my barrel behind it. So that's what I mean. Just like you said, I want to get it on path. I want to get the barrel to turn up behind the ball so I can impact it slightly uphill and square the ball up, get a good ball flight. So yes, you are correct. Z-Man G33, how to get better during quarantine? Another question on that. I just answered that question. So if you fast forward until your name popped up, go back about 3 minutes and watch the answer I just gave. But thank you for the question. NDC 2002, coolest cars in the MLB or in MLB. I always say the MLB. Some people get really mad when I say the MLB because it's like it's not the Major League Baseball, it's Major League Baseball. I know that, but when you say MLB and not Major League Baseball, like coolest cars in MLB or coolest cars in the MLB, I just always think that in the MLB sounds right. Now I know people say it's not right, but I still say it. Anyways, way to go being proper, not getting yelled at by people. Coolest cars in MLB. So I'm sure there's a lot of really cool cars. The cars, I'm thinking about guys on my team that I played with. I actually don't remember like any Lamborghinis or Ferraris in our... I don't remember any of those. I mean, the nice cars that you usually saw from players. The player that sticks out again is Matt Bush. I was talking about Matt Bush with my glove. And so he used to have like a new car, like it felt like every couple of months he had a new car. But he had a lot of really, really nice cars. Those kind of stick out to me. I don't know, usually in like on the Major League team, you see a lot of typical like Range Rovers, Mercedes, BMWs, those type of cars. I don't remember anyone driving a Bentley. I don't think. So, yeah, those are the cool cars. Cool cars, though. If you watch my channel, you know that I made, one of the first things I bought was an expensive sports car. Worst decision of my life. Never do that. If for some reason you ever get a lot of money given to you in a short period of time, don't spend it on a stupid car. Jack Winters 3. In the big leagues, do you have a lot of PR people telling you things you should say during interviews? Like how players are finally starting to show personality in the MLB now. When you played, did they tell you to kind of keep your mouth shut? So Jack, I was never told how to do an interview or what to say or what not to say. At least I don't really remember it. It's not like we had classes on how to do it. Now, we did have this rookie... there was like a rookie kind of like getaway thing that the Padres sent me to. It was for, I think, the top prospect from every organization went, or maybe the top 2 prospects. I think every organization could choose 2 people. I think that's what it was. And so I went to that, and there they did actually talk about it. So you would get interviewed a lot. They had you, and then they would do like these basically like practice runs where they'd have you interview, and they would kind of coach you up on it, teach you what to say, what not to say. They would have classes and that type of thing. But that was the only time I really remember doing that. And again, it was only for like 2 guys per organization that did that. So other than that, I don't really remember. I mean, I feel like maybe some people did say like, maybe in spring training and stuff, they would say like, hey, don't say anything stupid. But honestly, people in the minor leagues like aren't getting interviewed that much. Like even for me, I mean, I was the first pick of the Padres that year. Like I got interviewed a couple times, but it wasn't like I was getting interviewed a ton. It's not like in the NBA or the NFL where if you get drafted, you're going to be on TV a lot. You're going to get interviewed a lot. And this actually, I'm sorry, the question actually talked about the big leagues. So in the big leagues, no one ever told me anything. Again, I got called up like later in the season, but I don't remember anyone ever saying like, now, you're going to get interviewed. Because I don't really even think I got interviewed very much. I got interviewed when I hit my first major league home run. And then I get interviewed like in the locker room every now and then, but not always on TV. So to answer your question, that's a long way of saying no, not really. I don't think I ever really got told what to say or what not to say. All right, let's go one more question. Jason Hecht. When you hit your first home run, did you think it was a no-doubter? So my first home run in the major league, that would be my only home run in the major league. Let's talk about that one first. No, I actually hit it, and I didn't think it was going to be a home run. It wasn't a great piece. It was a fastball just a little bit away. I kind of got around it. My swing wasn't working great at that point. I was kind of struggling. So I hit that thing and just ran hard. And then kind of as I rounded first base and looked up, a lot of times, even if you don't see the ball go out of the park, which I didn't see this ball go out of the park, but you just can, from the reaction of the crowd typically, whether you're home or away, you kind of know what happened. And then, you take a peek up after you kind of hit the bag, you take a peek up and you realize left fielder's not throwing the ball in or moving. And then you can kind of feel the umpire, usually the umpire will give the home run sign. So you figure it out pretty quickly. But usually it's the reaction of the crowd. You kind of hear it. And it's not even something that you're like super aware of. It's not like you're thinking like, oh, are they cheering or are they not cheering? It's just like you play baseball so much, you just kind of feel it. So, but I did not think it was a no-doubter. There were home runs. I would say in my career, throughout my whole baseball career, there were certain years where I hit a lot of no-doubters. Like early in my life, I never hit really no-doubters, except maybe in Little League. It wasn't probably until my junior year of college where I hit some balls that I was like I remember my second home run of my college season, my junior year, which I think actually helped me get drafted in the first round. There was a lot of scouts there. We were playing against UNC Wilmington, and I got a 3-1 fastball, and I hit this thing. I mean, I tell people it went over the light tower. I don't know if it did, but it felt like it. I hit that ball, and I hit it, and I was like, that ball is hit 5,000 feet. And I never even looked at it. I hit it. I dropped my bat and I just jogged. I kept my head down all the way around the bases. So I did do that sometimes in college. And then 2007 was the year I did it in pro ball. I don't know what happened in 2007. I mean, I know what happened. My swing my body was like moving perfectly. And I didn't even know why it was. I just know that when I hit the ball in 2007, I was hitting some home runs where I'd hit the thing and I'd be like, oh my God, how did I do that? But I hit it and I just dropped the bat, just jog around. Never, I don't know why. I thought that was like my way of pimping it. Just like thinking, oh, you hit it so far, don't even watch it. Just put your head down and just jog around the bases because that ball's like 100 feet over the fence. So, but I never did it in the major leagues. I only hit one home run in the major leagues. Anyways, thanks so much for the questions, guys. We got a lot more questions we got to get through, but I'm going to break this up just so the videos don't get too long. So if you haven't had your question answered yet, you will have it answered soon. Probably. I can't get through all the questions, but I'm getting through as many as I can. So keep an eye out for the next video coming out. Thanks again if you sent in questions. Don't forget, go to our Instagram page, Antonelli Baseball. I'll put up another question and answer thing so you guys can send in questions. and get them answered on here. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Hit the notification bell. Give it a thumbs up. Share the video with all your friends. All that good stuff. Thank you to our patrons on Patreon for supporting the channel. That's all we have. We'll talk to you later.